Shots in Washington, D.C. Police and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms and Explosives, ATF, are responding to an active threat after 3 shootings in the U.S. Capitol. The search for the suspect continues. D.C. authorities have not said whether the suspect is in custody, Fox News' Louis Cassiano reported at 5 p.m. April 22. Authorities said 3 people were shot Friday in Washington, D.C., followed by an immediate increase in police in the area as a manhunt for the suspects began. The Metropolitan Police Department said shots were reported around 3:20 p.m. on Connecticut Avenue, northwest of the Capitol. Officers arrived and found a man, a woman, and a girl with gunshot wounds. They were reported in stable condition. As it turned out, there was no threat to their lives, the Metropolitan Police Department reported. Social media users said they heard heavy gunfire in the area. Fox News Digital obtained video from a local resident who recorded the sounds of gunshots. According to The Guardian, the incident took place at the corner of Connecticut Avenue and Van Ness Street, near Howard University Law School. Police officers in tactical gear were seen removing people from an apartment building, the British tabloid wrote. A court in China sentenced a U.S. citizen to death for murder. Shadid Abdulmatin killed his girlfriend in 2021 out of revenge, a court ruling said. A Chinese court sentenced a U.S. citizen to death Thursday for the premeditated murder of his girlfriend, according to an official court notice. The court found that Shadid Abdulmatin, an American, stabbed the 21-year-old woman several times in the face and neck last year when they met to discuss disagreements in their relationship. Shadid and a woman surnamed Shin began dating after they met in 2019, but she later wanted to break up with the young man, according to the Ningbo Intermediate People's Court. From mid to late May 2021, Chen proposed to break up many times, but Shadid did not agree and threatened her verbally, the court said Thursday. They met in June 2021 near a bus stop in Ningbo, where Shadid stabbed the woman several times, court documents said. The man was found guilty of premeditated murder. Shadid committed revenge murder by stabbing Chen several times and cutting her face and neck, resulting in her death, the court said. The U.S. Embassy has not yet responded to a request for comment. According to a Reuters report, a U.S. State Department spokesman said he was following the matter but would not comment further for reasons of confidentiality. Human rights advocates say China executes more prisoners each year than any other country, but death sentences are rarely imposed on citizens of Western countries. According to China's state-run Xinhua news agency, the last time a Western citizen was sentenced to death was a British national, Akmal Sheikh, who was executed for heroin trafficking. UN Secretary-General to hold talks on peace with Putin in Moscow. Guterres will also meet with Russian Foreign Minister Lavrov to discuss a peaceful resolution to the conflict in Ukraine. United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres will visit Moscow next Tuesday to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin to discuss ways to peacefully resolve the conflict caused by Russia's invasion of Ukraine, said Eri Kaneko, Assistant Press Secretary to the UN Secretary-General. Kaneko told reporters that Antonio Guterres will also hold a working meeting with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. Guterres hopes to talk during his visit to Moscow about what can be done to ensure peace in Ukraine, Kaneko said, adding that the UN Secretary-General's office is in touch with the Ukrainian government about a possible visit by Guterres to Moscow. The Kremlin also confirmed that Vladimir Putin will hold talks with UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres next week. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres will arrive in Moscow on Tuesday, April 26, for talks with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov told RIA Novosti. He will also be received by Russian President Vladimir Putin. Meanwhile, Sergei Lavrov said Friday that talks on a cessation of hostilities in Ukraine had stalled because Kyiv, he said, had not responded to Moscow's latest package of proposals. Another proposal that we handed over to Ukrainian negotiators about 5 days ago, which was drafted taking into account their comments, remains unanswered, the Russian diplomat said. However, Vladimir Medinsky, head of the Russian delegation to the talks with Ukraine and aide to the Russian president, confirmed that he had several lengthy conversations with the head of the Ukrainian delegation on Friday, the Associated Press reported. European Council President Charles Michel called on Russian President Vladimir Putin to engage directly with his Ukrainian counterpart Vladimir Zelensky during a phone conversation Friday and called for a ceasefire in Ukraine, an EU official said. In his conversation with Putin, Michel unequivocally, as stated, stressed the unacceptability of the war that Russia has unleashed and detailed the sanctions costs that the European Union is imposing on Russia, the EU official said. Michel also called for a ceasefire on the occasion of the approaching Orthodox Easter and for the safe evacuation of civilians seeking to leave besieged cities such as Mariupol. According to Reuters, the phone call with Putin followed Michel's visit to Ukraine on Wednesday.